Well, hello there. My name is iAntonio Pattison, host and producer of the English Coach podcast, Living the Language. And today we are here for a very special episode 74. Now, I'm going to be doing a very short episode today. Part of the reason for that is the fact that as we speak today, the 16th of July, 2022, I am just about to leave for Podfest Berlin. In German, we would say, ich bin auf dem Sprung. Yeah, that means I'm just about to jump through the door and head on over to Podfest. Now, I've been looking forward to the Berlin version of Podfest for quite a while. As far as I understand, it is the second Podfest in Berlin, but it's actually the first in this larger format. So I'm really looking forward. They have promised to talk about new media formats, intercultural approaches or multilingual approaches to podcasting. And that's very important because for those of you who have been listening to the show, you will know that this aspect is spot on to what it is I try to do with my podcast. There are many cultures involved and also multiple languages that are featured on my show. They promise to talk about new technology and also pitching new show ideas and getting some supportive critique and so on. Very important as well if I want to improve the show for you. And the last reason I'm looking really much forward to going to Podfest Berlin is, for me, it's a kind of a solidarity to the event, the whole movement of podcasting as it's unfolding here in Berlin, an opportunity to meet some of the Berlin stars in the podcasting scene. And who knows, maybe I can even network a little bit and form some collaborations, so to speak, and continue a little bit more with this cross-promotional initiative that I've been doing over the past 6-7 episodes. Very important for us, because some of us, we are self-sponsored, some of us call ourselves independent podcasters, and not everybody, not all of us, the self-sponsored element alone says that, we can't really pay for the big ad spend to push advertisements in your face. So, we have to help each other, support each other, share our stage. And this cross-promotional aspect is very important to me. So I'm also looking forward to opportunities to network. Now, the 4 reasons why this episode exists today. The first one is, I would like to make an announcement that the English Coach podcast, Living the Language, is going on a short break. I'll be taking a break for human reasons until mid-September, when the next episode 75, will be published. Now, again, as I said, self-sponsored and independent and authentic means sometimes that the episodes or the show will be affected by, simply said, human aspects. So I'm going to have to be taking a break for a little while, a little summer break, you can call it. So for the entire month of August, there will be no publications of the English Coach podcast, but coming bright and early, mid-September, I don't even know if you can say that, there will be episode 75. So just hold on a little bit, stay tuned, and I promise that the show is coming back. All right. So now you know what to expect and what not to expect. I thought it proper to let you know. Now, the second reason why this episode exists, come the 1st of August, 2022, I'll be embarking on a new journey in terms of a new job that I've been offered. Now, I'm very proud to say that this new job that's coming up, 1st of August, is something that I can definitely be proud of. It sits firmly in alignment with what it is I like to do. I'll be helping more people to develop their language skills, many more people. And, that definitely fits with my overall calling as a trainer. So I'm very happy to be starting with this new job come the 1st of August. And I'm also happy to say that even though I'll be doing that on, I could say it's a semi-permanent basis, it will not have any effect on my practice as an independent podcaster at all. That's already been discussed. And it won't really affect my practice as an independent trainer either. So both of those things will be continuing. Like all new things in life, you have to make some adjustments. And that is also part of the reason why I thought it proper to take a break and, get things in alignment properly. And I have to inform my current private clients, managing my training platform, informing all my students of this new job and making the changes accordingly. I also have to make some adjustments to my activities as an independent podcaster. I'll be continuing to do that. That won't change. But, this new job is significant, and many of us are also going on summer break. So, as I am a human being, not a media team or something, I also should take a little break. It's good for my mental health. All right. So that is the second reason why I have to take a break. The third reason is I'm taking this opportunity to also revisit and reiterate the values. The values that allow me to call myself an independent podcaster. The drive, the motivation, the inspiration behind creating the English Coach podcast in the first place. It's still there. And, this is also a kind of a reflective exercise, just ask myself the question again. Is it still authentic? Is it still independent? Is it still self-sponsored? Well, that's kind of sure still. But I just wanted to look at these values again, ask myself the question, put it out there into the world, invite comment, invite questions as well from you, the listeners, to see if these values are still in place, to see if the same qualities of what I really like to call authenticity still determine my direction and still inform the decisions I make. Right? I want to look at the values that allow me to be more motivated to think about ownership of my own media data. Reiterate, for example, the fact that nobody else enjoys editorial privileges on my show. Sometimes the word authentic comes up and some people, they can't hear it anymore, as we say in Germany. But, I'm just going to say it straight, plain and simple. Anybody who doesn't like the word authentic is because probably they can't wear that as a badge. Not everybody can call themselves that, right? Nobody else enjoys, as I said, editorial privileges or editorial rights over my show. Nobody tells me what to do or how to do it. And if anybody wants to know what the agenda is of my show, it's just one step away. That is one of the things that makes it authentic. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a good word. These values also dictate or determine the ownership of my own data. It's very important these days because, everybody is kind of hot for creators' media data. And, sometimes listeners out there, they get the feeling that, we do this for the Spotifys and the YouTubes and the Instagrams and so on. When fact of the matter is, most of us don't really work for them. We're following a calling and we're doing this for you. And even though it might appear as if there are layers and layers and barriers between us, the content creators, and you, the listeners, there are actually none. So, I'm going into that a little bit again, just to remind you that the reason why we do this is for you. It is not for the Instagrams and the LinkedIns and the Facebooks and all these guys, right? There's actually nobody in between. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention, and it's quite exciting for today, is the fact that I will be launching a new show. Now, I would say, let me just check my calendar here. I think I am going to launch the show by the 29th of July. That is going to be the date, right? The 29th of July is going to be the day on which the show becomes available. Now, I'm not quite sure if it's going to show up in your podcast player of choice on that date, but that is when I'll be releasing it into the world, this new show. So look out for it. The name is coming up soon in this episode. However, the show promises to be a little more controversial, a little more fun, a little more bubbly, and this is me giving myself also permission to be a little more playful with the topics that I discuss. And it's a little bit safer because it won't be in such close connection to my training practice. But the topics will be a little bit more on the adult side, right? As I said, it's going to be a little bit more spicy, a little bit more brash and sassy. So if you're interested in, a little more spice in your life, you like podcasting, you like how I do things, well, you will definitely like this new show. So do stay tuned. Finish this episode. At the end of it, or towards the end of it, I'll be telling you what you should be looking for, the new name of the show. I am so excited. And today, as we speak, there are already 4 episodes recorded. It goes deeper into the arts. It goes deeper into, well, as I said, adult topics, right? So not tastelessly so, I might say, but very tastefully done from what I've done so far. And yeah, just look out. I'm really proud of it already. The name has been decided. I've already done the logo. It's in red. That's the most I'm going to tell you right now. So that was the overview for the show today, right? I'm trying to hold myself back as we speak because I don't want to tell you everything yet. I want you to listen to the episode until the end where you'll get the name of the show. All right, so now you have an overview, the meta of this episode, so to speak, why it exists. And at this point, I would just say, without further ado, on with the show. The new podcast that I just mentioned to you dives even deeper into real and varied playful themes, allowing me more room to explore my own creative energy, and might in some cases turn out to be more of interest to a local audience. Both English and German languages will feature in the new show. And the reason for this is most of my listenership is multilingual. Now, how exactly that unfolds, I don't know. Only time will tell. It can, of course, also be helpful to those of you out there who are looking to engage with and improve your acquired language skills in a more authentic and less prescriptive way. But you will notice that there isn't the usual close connection to my own language training practice. I'm really looking forward to it. This podcast offering that you're listening to right now will not change. The English Coach podcast, Living the Language, is still primarily aimed at helping what I sometimes call my people, present and past course participants, to hold on to their language skills. A chance for all learners of English as a second language to experience immersion into the language in a fun and interesting way. Keyword, sustainable language acquisition, or in German, nachhaltige Spracherwerb. Now, coming back to the new show, it is an experimental format and promises to converse with, let's just say for now, different topics that will, I think, be a little more demanding on my skills as a podcaster. It'll be a little bit less scripted, with what I like to call its one-question approach, and promises to unfold in an even more dynamic, organic, or sexy way. What can I say? Sorry, I can't think of any other adjective right now. And if one colorful word is a little bit too much for you, then maybe the new show is not for you. All right? Truth be told, that's just how it is. So then, what is the name of this new show, you might be asking yourself? The name of the new show is Life is Feeling, and you'll be able to find it as soon as it's launched, simply by heading on over to www.lifeisfeeling.com. or by visiting www.iAntonio.media, where you'll also be able to find an overview of both my podcasts and all the other creative works that I have published. Life is Feeling will be a little more bold, brash and sassy if you like, or a little more artsy. So be warned. And on that note, I will now move to sharing a little poem written by my brother Kurt. Now, before we start this very short poem, I am going to also invite you to imagine this crazy character in Alice in Wonderland, once played by Johnny Depp, the Hatter. The Hatter's farts were arts in parts, where farts were arts to them. Then the proud farts became loud farts, and were just farts again. Now, the choice as to what exactly that means in your parts is entirely up to you. I am so looking forward to launching this show. Remember to look out for the show. It is definitely going to be launched. Maybe, let me just check my calendar. I'm just going to give it a date, because the end of July is a little bit vague. Let's just say the 30th of July. That is the day on which I shall release Life is Feeling. Now, I started podcasting a little under 3 years ago, just before the first wave. So this is not another Corona baby. And as change is the only constant in life, my work as an independent podcaster is not immune. Now, I want to quickly say thank you to you personally as a supporter, follower, or contributor to the show, and to all the show guests with whom I have had the privilege of sharing this stage. This is episode 74 and season 6 of the English Coach podcast, and I could not have made it to this point without you. Independent podcasting, in its truest sense, cares about the industry as a whole, whose free and open quality seeks to nurture a tradition of clean, clear, and direct relationships between content creators and listeners as people. That in itself defines the authenticity of the format. Now, authenticity is a good word, contrary to what the opposites would have you think. I consider it a title, an essential differentiator, a badge of honor, so to speak, that cannot be worn by everyone and everything. I'm very proud of it. Now, as usual, as an independent podcaster, it is important to me to reiterate that I still don't work for the big boys, who don't really give a flying fuck about me or about you. I still do this for you, the listener, as one human being to another. Not for YouTube, not for Spotify or Instagram or LinkedIn or Amazon or the like, or any other ads-driven paradigm, as I like to say. Absolutely wonderful platforms in their own right, I might add, but driven by other perfectly legitimate things like shareholder value. What I do care about are people who are interested and actively engaged, not as abstract data points and essentially meaningless parts of astronomical listener numbers. That kind of goal is really in the service of ads or propaganda machines. That's not exactly my game here. One thoughtful, useful piece of feedback is worth much more than 5,000 disengaged followers. The job that I have given to myself here as an independent podcaster on my show is also to sometimes help you to know the difference. The audio version of the podcasts will still be available everywhere, from anywhere you want to listen to podcasts. But if they're exclusive videos, they will only be published on the official show pages. And one of the reasons why I do it like that is because I feel responsible to protect the integrity of my own content. And, I still can't think of any good reason why I should give all of my media content away to YouTube. Right? So if you're interested in the video exclusives when they do feature in any episode, just head on over to the official show pages given under their own domain, and you can watch all of this content ad-free. As I always say, in the way it was meant to be. There you'll also always be able to find associated links, course memberships, guest registrations, exclusive videos as I just said, value for value options to support the show directly, and feedback links for you to, as I like to say, give meaning to the things you think about the show. On the official show pages, you can also enjoy the episodes themselves ad-free, the way they were meant to be, and also find options to sign up to receive the show episodes sent to you directly by email without the need for any third-party apps. Now, if you feel as if you absolutely cannot live without giving away even more personal data to even more apps on your phone, there is also a link to recommended podcast player apps that, in my opinion today, seem to care a little bit about creators. One app in particular that has demonstrably shown that it does have some respect for your privacy and mine is the Overcast app, as well as the local player on the official show pages from my trusted podcast host, Libsyn. Now, speaking of value for value, I have just managed to finish setting up ways in which you can, if you ever feel as if you get value from the episodes, donate cryptocurrency directly to the show. That was a real feat, and I'm very proud of it, because I think that some of you, the real fans out there who have been following my episodes over the past years even, you might feel one day that you want to just do something to support the show. It doesn't have to be a donation, but if you want to do something directly for the creators of the show, then you can also do it directly without any kind of middleman, skimming off from the top of what you send in. You can also do it directly using cryptocurrency, and this is really something that I'm proud of. All right, so just check out the show notes pages and you'll be able to see the links to that. Now, for those of you who are listening to the show for the first time, feel free to head on over to www.englishcoachpodcast, and if you like what you see or what you hear, do share the show with a friend. Okay, so that was it, and as I like to say, with a small win is always a good way to begin. Thanks for listening. I am looking forward to hearing from you, and bye for now.